You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Feels weird being over here.
Does it?
Not really. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let me tell you what you need tonight. A little something to whet your appetite, and it's gonna make you feel alright. Sweet Gravy and Carmen Kirk, check them out as they go to work. Congratulations on your new podcast. Now open up a can of whoop ass and blast, blast, blast. This is Angelo. And I hope you like this show. Wow. Yeah.
Ooh, did you mouth to me that it was loud?
Hot.
Hot? It's hot. You know, it was hot last time we did this.
I feel like in the last month, every episode we start with, it's fucking
hot.
hot, man.
It's hot.
Jesus Christ.
So, like, when we were doing the episode last week, I look over at you and you got sweat, like, all around your nose.
Yeah. So hot.
And, like, typically, our time, we try to do, like, 45, you know,
To an hour, yeah.
to an hour. And then it's like, you got anything else? And we're like, no, it's hot. We got
hot.
because we don't have central air. We've got a portable air conditioner.
Right.
You know, so it's loud. You know, so we can't really have.
No, don't get me wrong. It's a standalone,
chillness.
and it is a very. I'm happy with the product for sure with the air conditioner. Like it is what it is,
Right.
and I like it better than having a window unit for sure.
Uh-huh.
Those make a lot more noise. So
Right.
yeah, I'm happy with it. It's just that without central air, once you turn that air conditioner off,
Oh man,
you start cooking.
we didn't hit record on the thing. What?
On the what?
On this thing, we didn't record it yet.
Then what are we doing?
Huh?
Start over.
We gotta start all over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me tell you what you need tonight. A little something to whet your appetite, and it's gonna make.
Man,
What are you doing today?
I'm off today. I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh, you ready? Okay, we'll do this again.
Let me tell you what you need tonight. A
Jesus
little something
Christ.
to whet your appetite, and it's gonna make you feel alright. Sweet Gravy and Carmen Kirk, check them out as they go to work. Congratulations on your new podcast. Now open up a can of whoop ass and blast, blast, blast. This is Angelo. And I hope you like this show. Wow. Yeah.
Truth be told, I didn't hit the record button because I just wanted to hear that again. Is that
That's
okay?
not. I don't believe that.
You don't
to
believe
be
it?
true. No.
This is our second go around here. Well, we started and
Good thing we didn't get too far. We just started.
Right.
So, because that would have been annoying.
you wouldn't have liked that too much, huh?
No, we would have been done for today.
You-
Then we resume another day.
Because as we were just saying, it was hot.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so we would have spent all that time with no air conditioning on.
Yeah.
We'd be sweating and gross. Anyway, like we were saying before, if you're listening, this is our second attempt into this because we spent a minute talking into nothing.
yeah,
Right? So, it's hot.
it's been hot. This summer has been a rough summer. It has been, man, and it's crazy because we're similar to weather in Detroit. So I feel like Detroit got it worse than we did this summer with the storms and the power outages and the flooding and like all of that. We didn't get hit with none of that stuff, but it's been hot, muggy, wet, moist, all the grossest shit together this summer.
It's been so humid and so like wet. It's been rainy wet, rainy hot. Oh, all through. you
Yeah,
know?
that's the worst part is when it's raining and hot.
Raining.
The raindrops are hot.
The
What the
raindrops are hot. It's humid. You
Yeah.
said that you were gonna go out and kind of just spend a day just kind of hanging out and maybe getting a bite to eat somewhere in the old port.
Yeah.
And you said that you walked down the street just to the corner, and then you said, maybe I'll just go to the 7-Eleven and get a bag of chips and then come home.
Yeah, actually what I did was so once I left the house, I got probably about halfway down the street, like not even to the corner, and I was like, this ain't gonna work. Me going all the way down and
said,
walking
"No, I
around.
ain't
I was
doing
like,
it."
I already was sweaty, like after walking down a couple of houses, I was like, there's no way. And it's a weird thing because what I'm gonna do, take a Uber to take me right there.
Right.
So it's like waiting for the Uber and paying the money that it cost
Paying
you to
the
go
minimum of $5. So
$6. So and then waiting for however long
right, to go half a mile.
right when you can just walk down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of silly. So, yeah, I got like halfway down the street and I was like, yeah, I called Bon Appetit right then.
That's the place where you. What do they have there?
They have pho there.
They have pho,
Yeah,
which is beef broth
it's
and a rice noodle,
yeah.
and
Yep.
they give you the stuff to make it, and you make it yourself, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a style of ramen. It's it comes with super thin rice noodles in a bowl, and they put onion and cilantro, and then raw steak, shaved steak in there. And then they give you hot broth to pour over
Hot
it,
broth.
and it cooks the steak to about mid rare.
So they give you the steak raw,
Right, and then you
then
pour the
you
hot broth
pour the
over the
hot
steak
broth
and
in
the
there.
noodles.
and
It's so fucking good. It's amazing.
they give you like these leaves. What kind of leaves are those?
basil.
They give you basil leaves, which are really sharp.
Yeah,
It's a sharp leaf,
yeah.
and I put it in my pho, and you thought that was weird.
Because you don't need that much basil in a whole pot of food.
But they
And
gave it
put-
to you.
I know, but that don't mean you put it all in there.
So
That's like you getting a side of sriracha. You'll put the whole sriracha on there?
sometimes, yeah.
Oh.
Sriracha. You got me. It wasn't rooster sauce. It wasn't the sriracha. You got me Texas Pete's sriracha.
Yeah, we have our sauce game is pretty strong.
We got
We got all the sauces,
Heavy
and spices.
sauces.
Yeah, spices too.
Captain Moet. Did we talk about the Captain Moet
No, we
at the craft show? We didn't get into the craft show at all, really. We didn't get into how we got stuck and you had to be behind the wheel of the car.
Yeah,
We missed so much. I felt like last week we were just off.
yeah.
And so the sriracha, no, not the sriracha. There's this brand of local Portland hot sauces,
Yeah.
Captain Moet. Would you pronounce it that way?
Yeah, I'd say it's Captain Moet, but it's not just hot sauces. They do a bunch of different sauces, but their hot sauces are the most popular, I would say.
Right. Yeah, they started as just like a pepper sauce.
Yeah.
And they have got this mustard, Shark Bite, which is really good. It's like the best mustard I've ever had. And then we go to this craft show, and this guy had all of the sauces there on display.
He had everything the company
Yeah.
makes there.
Everything there. And we talked to him. We were like, yeah, we got this and this and this. And but we've got a couple of their varieties here. 3 to
Right.
be, you got me the super souped up hot. And I'll be honest, we had Mexican food today. We went to Guillermo Maya. And I didn't have any hot sauce. So
I know, I was very
feel-
proud of you.
I feel cool, I'm not like overheated because typically I'll just hot sauce and then you'll be like, oh, you're hot, but not today.
No, you didn't have
I'm
any
cool.
hot sauce
Right.
today. That's surprising, actually. Kirk is a saucy man. Kirk is the guy who you give one packet of nugget sauce to, and he used
what am I
2
supposed to do with
sauces for.
this?
He used one whole sauce for 2 nuggets.
Right.
He needs a lot of sauce.
Yeah, I feel like whenever you get something with the sauce, it's just the delivery system for the sauce, the food that you get with it.
Yeah, but it don't supposed to be.
Like the hot mustard at McDonald's for whenever I was a little kid, they had hot mustard. I don't think they have the hot mustard anymore. Maybe they do.
Yeah, you just gotta ask for it.
And I feel like That's like 2 little dips.
No, it's
That's
not.
2 nuggets.
Kirk, I dip all my nuggets in one.
I know, but like now they have like 10 size nuggets. I feel like when we were younger, that they had like six nuggets was like the biggest they had, and then like for kids it was like 4 nuggets, and the adult size was like 6. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Now, I mean, they got
You
all
got
types
40
of deals.
nuggets?
Yeah, they got all types.
Like how
of
many
stuff
nuggets they got back there?
going. They got a lot back there.
Think about it. Somebody in the drive-through order 40 nuggets. Somebody in the store order 40 nuggets. Somebody.
Especially when they have them on special, where you can get 40 nuggets for like a super cheap price. Like people order a lot of nuggets.
We were looking on the Uber Eats app, and Saudi, is that how do you say the name? Saudi has a meal on McDonald's of Saweetie. And who's Shorty? Is there a Shorty too?
No.
Oh, I just made that up.
Yeah.
I figured somebody must have been too short.
No, you just can't make up a name.
Oh no?
Saweetie, she's a up and coming rapper, and now McDonald's is doing this weird thing where they're endorsing celebrities and having celebrities put a meal on the menu. And she's like the latest celeb to. Because I think they did A$AP Rocky first, so he did a meal deal, and then now it's Saweetie's month. And I think every single month they're switching to a new up and coming celebrity. So pretty much McDonald's is using the current young hip hop, because I'm sure that they'll do some TikTokers on there too. So they're just trying to attack the younger audience and get that business. So, and I'm sure a lot of people went there and said, "Let me get the A$AP Rocky meal." Like, what the hell? And it's like that's the same thing on the menu. They just like add a large fry on it.
What it was is like just
But
like 4 nuggets and a Big Mac.
Yeah, that's
with fries.
That's what in a drink.
Right.
It was a Big Mac meal with 4 nuggets on the side, and that was the Saweetie meal.
Yeah.
But they changed the sweet and sour sauce to put Saweetie and sour sauce. You know what I'm saying?
She spells her name Saweetie.
Yeah. But when I tasted the sauce, it was the same.
It was the same, but it was a Saweetie and sour.
Yeah, they just changed the package, the top of the package.
Right.
They did literally nothing. They spent money to change the packaging, and I'm sure that they're making money off of her name because she's the up and coming little hot rapper.
Right.
So
she gets more people go. So what is
she gets a big
Saweetie?
check from McDonald's,
Yeah.
and they get to make the money off of her.
And she was on an episode of Cooking with Paris,
Yeah.
so they get that recognition. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
You go to McDonald's, you've just been watching, Cooking with Paris, and you're like, who is this?
I mean, I think it's you're getting multiple demographics at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Beautiful. Good job, McDonald's. Like when Justin Timberlake came out with ba-da-da-da-da. Was that him?
I'm not sure if that was him.
I want to say that it was.
Yeah, but
I'm loving it.
it's weird you say Cooking with Paris because it's like, who's watching that show? I don't know
watched it.
I know, but like, what demographic is that targeting? Like, I remember when she was super popular and everybody was like tuned into her, but like coming back and then being on Netflix, so that's already a different demographic right there, being on Netflix. So it's just, I wonder who is her target audience right now.
I feel like it's people our age.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like it's people that saw The Simple Life, and we're like, oh, this is going on now,
Yeah.
Like, and it brings back that nostalgia. That's all.
Let's see if she get picked up for a season 2.
I don't know.
What if she get picked up for like 10 seasons?
Well, the
she
whole
goes
thing-
long as the Kardashian.
as long as we were watching the Cooking with Paris, she's talking about how she's in love with this man. What was his name? Like Chris or something. And she's like talking about having a designer baby. Right. She's like, yeah, this is how we can pick what color eyes it has and all that. Like, what? They got science babies?
Of course
The
they do.
Hiltons? And she's like, I just can't wait. She was talking to Kim Kardashian.
Because then that in vitro or something, you can pick your baby eye color and like
The whole thing.
Yeah.
They'll be like, this gene's just. But, she was like, yeah, in a couple years, I'm gonna be just like how you cook with your kids. What are the Kardashian Kim's kids' name? They're like Northwest. Southwest,
Northwest, Chicago West, Saint West, and it's Northwest, Chicago, Saint, and it's one more.
Weird names.
Yeah.
Well, what about Jason Lee, the famous Jason Lee, not your gossip man, Jason Lee? His son's name was Pilot Inspector. Was that him?
It might have been him. That sounds about right. Pilot Inspector.
Pilot Inspector Lee.
Like, why would you do that?
Because that's a goofy name.
That's so fucking stupid. It's like you got to be preparing kids for the future, man. If you're gonna have children, like give them a name where they can get jobs and like they're not being teased in school.
All right.
Like
Yeah, but you're also Jason Lee's kid, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
But if you put him in school with other rich kids, no one gives a fuck that who kid he is.
Right.
You put him in a pile with the rest of the kids. Yeah, your dad might have money, but look, his dad got money too. That's such and such daughter over there. She's prettier than you, and your name Pilot Inspector. Like once you put kids in a group, especially like in a situation where you have kids who are well off with kids who are poor, that's a unbalanced situation.
That's no good.
Which you see in most public schools, because you'll have kids who just live in a district or whatever. They'll go to that school, but their parents are somewhat well off.
Right.
And then you got poor kids. That's kind of why they started the. I know in Detroit, that's why they started the uniform system. So kids wouldn't get teased about not having nicer stuff.
If everybody's on the same
right
field.
So if you are a person that goes to a school for rich kids, you're kind of on the same playing field, especially as a young child. Once you start getting older, you can be like, my dad has more money than your dad, bitch. But like as a young kid, if your name's weird or anything like that, like y'all on the same playing field, they gonna still talk about you.
Yeah.
Nope. Name your kid Shaquanda or something, or Shaquisha or something, and then
Squeesha.
Yeah, and then you expect them to like be accepted by everybody, and that's just not gonna happen because they think you ignorant already.
Right.
Just because that's your name. Isn't it interesting how that works?
Yeah.
It's all judging a book by its cover.
Sure.
As soon as you walk in, like. But then I've heard people say that
I'm not looking at anything.
Right, don't be looking at nothing. I've heard people say that they've had names that's super proper, and then when they walked in, the people was expecting like a Billy, and it didn't look like a Billy.
Right.
It looked like an Arabic dude, and they're like, "What the?
Right.
This is not what we were trying to hire." So I've seen it happen the opposite way, which is like kind of rude, I guess.
Yeah, I worked with a guy. His name was Billy, and he was Puerto Rican.
Yeah, you don't expect that though.
He was Billy, and he thought that it was weird that I would call things guys. I'd be like, we need to take these guys and put them over here, and get rid of those guys. And he'd be like, these are guys. He's like, these are guys. I said, yeah. And he's like, what about these? Are these guys? Yeah, those are guys. And just like weird things with the
language barrier.
Language,
yeah. No, yeah, that's a weird one.
Why are these guys?
I mean, and that's what they say. The English language is so difficult to pick up because we do have so many variations of slang. What you know is slang is not what I know is slang.
Right.
So,
even you and I talk differently.
Yeah, as far as like
things.
slang, yeah, absolutely. And then like if I'm around somebody from California, when I lived in Texas, I had this kid from California in my complex. The way we talked was completely different.
Right.
So it's we got too many variations. How you supposed to pick that up as a non-English speaking person? That's
especially
difficult.
when you're in an area where everybody talks differently. Like this person talks this way, this person talks differently. Like if you were to be like in, I think a lot of people came to Portland, Maine, kind of like we did. I don't think that everybody's from here. I think there's a lot of people that came here.
In Portland, yeah, absolutely.
Right. But if you were like in like a Boston or like a Chicago, where a lot of people like stay there, born and raised there, it'd be easier because all that slang's the same. Or Baltimore. How does the Baltimore people talk?
You.
You.
They
say
weird.
You weird.
Yeah, they say a lot of letters, R's and U's weird. Yeah, they say O's weird.
O's.
Like tear. Like stop talking like that. Oh my god, they got this weird twang that they put on stuff. So I guess that would be confusing if you don't speak English. It's like, why are they sounding like that? Why does the letters? They say the letters sound like this. Why does their letters? Is this the same language? Yeah, I can see how that could be confusing.
I know in Louisville, people would say if it was a word that ends with an LD, like they would say cold. They would say it like code. It's code out here.
Yeah.
Or can you hold that door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like
Isn't that
that.
weird?
Yeah, I don't like that at all. We were talking about this restaurant we just went to, and it's funny that you brought that up because I have an issue with every single time I go to a restaurant, the server is coming and asking me, am I done and do I want a box? No, I'm not done. I'm not finished yet.
A couple boxes. She said, you want a box? A couple boxes, because
Girl,
we had some appetizers on the table too.
It's like, I understand, but like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not done eating yet.
And you looked at her today. You said, I'm going to finish. I'm going, like you're like determined. Like, I am going to finish this meal, lady.
That's what I'm trying to do. And you always say, you're like, you're not even eating. You don't even have the fork in your hand.
That's right.
And it's like, well, what I'm supposed to do? I gotta take a break. I gotta put the fork down, take a second.
Right. So today we're eating lunch, and you talked a long time about a bunch of things, and then you looked down at my plate, and I was eating the last bit of my taco and rice, and you said, I can't believe you ate that so quickly. But I just ate it normal. I wasn't talking, though.
No, I was saying I can't believe you finished your whole plate because them stuffed potato skins was so aggressive.
That's why? Well, we didn't finish them.
We didn't, I know, but they were filling for sure. It was a good little concept. I liked it, but they were filling.
Right. Well, I hadn't eaten all day.
Yeah, I know, because your eating schedule is... Kirk starves me when we're hanging out together. On our time off together, he starves me pretty much.
You want to eat a breakfast, a lunch, a snack, a dinner.
Just normal, yeah.
And then the second, like kind of like go in for like a little mini plate before bed.
Well, most of the time I don't. The same problem I'm having at the restaurants. Right. Most of the time I don't finish my food, or it gets cold because I take too long. So I'm still hungry because I'm not eating like actual dinner. I'm eating a portion, and then it might get cold. Or
so you like to say that you like your food hot,
really hot.
What you do at home, especially now that we have a microwave, you like to make a little plate, heat it up, and then eat it. And then just have it kind of sit there. And then as it cools down and you're ready to eat some more, you'll go and heat it back up again. Right. That's great.
I like my food really hot. If it's supposed to be hot,
if it's supposed to be hot,
food.
You want it hot.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I'm just weird like that. Like, if it's supposed to be cold, I want it cold. So, like, if I'm drinking chocolate milk, I got to put ice cubes in it. I don't want cold chocolate milk, not warm chocolate milk. So... And people are always like, "Why you got ice cubes in your chocolate milk?" Because I want it to be cold. That's why.
Right.
Hey, you put ice in your orange juice? Yeah, because I need it to be cold.
Oh man, I haven't had some nice chocolate milk in a while. I wouldn't mind some nice.
Yeah, we got
milk.
Nestle's at my job. So.
I feel like Johnny Jaguar Paw. he used to see me make chocolate milk. And he'd be like, "You're too old to drink chocolate milk."
Yeah, that's what people say for sure.
Like, you're too old. I remember I was 21. I was at a friend's house, and we woke up, and there's a bunch of people had spent the night there, and we might have had a party the night before, and everybody kind of woke up a little tired, and I made a nice mason jar full of chocolate milk. And this girl looks at me and she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're drinking chocolate milk right now." And she like looks at me with like a disgust. And then this other girl was like, "Yeah, it looks delicious." My buddy Nick was like, "What?" They're both can't believe it, right? But one of them is looking at you with, like envy. They want that chocolate milk. They're like, "Oh man, that looks so good." But the other one was like, "Disgusting. How dare you drink that chocolate milk right now?"
I mean, I can understand both sides of it. I think it's funny though. I'm always that random person that likes to do that. Like right now, I've been having a taste for Kool-Aid. So at my job, I was like, man, I need to go to the store and get some Kool-Aid packets. I went to the grocery store. I couldn't find Kool-Aid. So I don't know where they're hiding it at, where you find it at. But
I feel like the Kool-Aid's in a weird section.
Right.
I feel like it's like where the crackers are.
Something.
Like right next to the wheat thins.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
I got to find it, but I wanted to make Kool-Aid and bring it into my job. And you were like, they're going to think, like, no, don't bring Kool-Aid to your job.
You brought freeze pops to your job one time.
I did,
and one boy said that those freeze pops were made for poor people.
Well, he said that. Well, he got to talking to me about like food stamp cards and like all this stuff, and I was just like, I didn't grow up poor. What the fuck? And he was like, oh, well, I just assumed because you brought the freeze pops in that you grew up like in the hood and like, cause that's like a poor people food. And the kids around me was like, you can't have any more popsicles then.
Right,
We'll eat them since you offensive and rude. Like, what you mean? She brought you a popsicle that she bought with her own money and then you call her poor?
Right.
Like, I get where he was going with it. Yeah, you pay, what, I paid $1 for 100.
$1 for 100 of them. Dude, that math doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't,
right?
It's like they're just
how does this plastic plus this colored water only cost a cent each? Like how much do they actually make for?
They've manufactured too many and they're not selling, and they're just trying to get them out the way. They're just trying to get them sold pretty much. So you get all these freeze pops for $1,
right?
And then what I'm gonna do with them? You're not eating them, so I'm like, it's hot. I'll bring them to work. I'll pass them out. That'll be a nice gesture. Then I get called poor.
Right.
So
yeah.
But I was gonna bring Kool-Aid in, and I know they're gonna be like, the black girl brought Kool-Aid in. Oh my gosh, like, dude, Kool-Aid's good.
Yeah.
When I go to restaurants and they have like Kool-Aid slushies, I always get them.
Right.
And one guy was like, if you brought that in, I would be so excited. It was like, yeah, we would love Kool-Aid.
Right.
But people want it. They just don't want to be.
They want it, but they don't want to be like, ugh. Kool-Aid Jammers. Is that what they were called? The bottles? They were good. Mondo. I liked Mondo because it was a cool sounding name.
Yeah, that's not surprising for you to like Mondo coolers.
Yeah, Mondo is cool, but yeah, those Kool-Aids, you twist off the top and it looked like a little lobster on there, because it had like the little things on the side.
Yeah, I like the squeezers.
Yeah,
I was a squeezer girl.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, before they made everything in the pouch like Capri Suns.
Right.
Like, I don't think you can get those bottles anymore.
I don't know about the Mondo, but I've seen squeezers for sure.
Oh, of Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
I have to check that out. See, I would love to have that. Even though...
For you, is one sip?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
You're going to turn that bottle up there and be gone so quickly.
So the Capri Suns, we would give those to the kids on their to-go lunches when we worked on Catalina. And it would, if we were getting hot, if it was a summertime, we would just have cases and cases of these Capri Suns in the walk-in. And it was literally, you stab it, and then you go, whoo, and then it was done. That was it. It was over. Because there weren't like a lot of like chilled beverages we could have.
Right.
You know, like there's an ice machine, but sometimes if it was too hot, it wouldn't work. You know. Just but those Capri Suns were a nice little, little 2-second escape from that heat.
Yeah.
Get something cold in your belly.
Yeah.
But it was just one sip.
Well, it's more than one sip. It's one sip for you.
Right.
For guys are weird about shit.
Right.
You guys are not delicate. You just you go at everything crazy. So I saw a couple cool things this week. One of the things I saw this week was this video about this lady and her kids in the house, and a bird flew in the window. And the lady runs out the house. She frantically runs out too. She was so fucking scared.
Right.
She ran out and she left those kids.
She left the kids in the house.
She had 2 kids. She left the kids in the house with the bird. Like, now, mind you, it's funny to watch because it's not like the bird is going to hurt the kids. It's just a little bird. It's just in the house, so they're freaked out. But, like, if you ran out and left your kids over a bird, like, what else would... You know what I mean? Like, that means your, like, fight or flight response when you have kids supposed to change, I think.
Right.
And, like, you were like, run. And the kids were chilling. Like, what do you do about that? She was so scared, though. You could tell how scared she was. Like, she dropped everything. She flipped everything over in her room and just took out, running out the door. You could see the panic of her trying to get that door unlocked and get out of it. She was like pulling the handle so quick without it being locked that she couldn't unlock it. She was so scared. And then she left her kids with the bird. And I think her post said, I ain't shit. I left my kids.
The bird's going to get them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. You said that would be me. It would be, and I feel bad about that because I would definitely leave my kid if a bird flew in the house.
There's an episode of Seinfeld where there's like a fire, and George is at a party, and there's a fire, and it's like a kid's party, and like he shoves all these kids and an old woman out of the way. Like, it's like fire, and he shows, and then he like later, like he says, I was trying to make the coast clear, get everybody out of the way, but he just like shoved everybody out. That would be you.
Yeah,
I could see you like knocking the kid down just to get to the door. You're like, no,
I know, I'm gonna freak out because I get so scared and I freak out. Like this groundhog that's like been harassing us for a week now. I've seen him every single day for a whole week, and he won't leave.
Right.
It's a large rodent. Groundhogs are very large rodents.
That's his home out there.
I know. I'm waiting on the dogs to get it. He be running around everywhere, so you don't know where he is at any point in time. I know the dogs smell his hideout, though.
I don't know why he bothers you so much, though. Just his existence is...
Absolutely.
You don't want him to be around.
They're very large rodents. I don't want him anywhere near me.
Okay.
And he's eating all of our leaves.
Is that not okay?
I don't know. I just don't like him.
To eat your leaves?
He's just like, man, it's bigger. It's not a squirrel. When you see this big thing running around and you know it's a rodent, this big rodent running around, it's like, what is that about? What is he going to do?
Right.
I don't know what he going to do.
Nothing. He's just living his life.
I know. I don't like it. You see him at work all the time, right? Groundhogs and stuff.
I see a groundhog in the bushes whenever I eat my lunch. Yeah.
I think it's unusual because people don't typically see groundhogs. I don't. Before we moved to Maine, I never seen a groundhog before.
Yeah, he's got a little like cubby that he sleeps in, and you can see him like the bushes move as he's walking through.
Yeah.
So.
Just freaking people out.
No, I'm the only one that parks by him. So.
You notice him, right?
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And then my cousin posted a photo online. And I know if you've been listening to Sweet Gravy, you heard us talk about Sloppy Chops.
Sloppy Chops.
Yeah.
Right.
So Sloppy Chops is the restaurant that a guy came in with some friends and they ran out on that expensive tab.
They had like
in Detroit.
like $100 tab or something.
Yeah, they got everything. They got lobster and crab legs and drinks, and
then
they
just
ran it up.
left.
And he left. They
Right.
ran out really quickly. And then they didn't pay their tab, and they were all on the news about it. And this is a Detroit restaurant, so that's why we talked about it on a podcast. And then my cousin posted this picture on Facebook, like, "Oh,
Who was it? Who was it?
What, the picture?"
Right.
She posted this picture of Donnell Rollins
Donnell Rollins, Mr.
on
Actually.
Facebook at Sloppy Chops
At
in my
Sloppy
old
Chops.
neighborhood.
Right. Yeah.
And he like, she said, "Oh, I saw that guy from Dave Chappelle."
I feel like we've been battling with this Donnell Rollins. He's a piece of our life, Carmen.
Yeah. Like, we literally talk about Sloppy Chops on the show, and then my cousin posted a picture of Donnell Rollins at Sloppy
At
Chops.
Sloppy Chops, yeah.
It's like, why are you there? Like, but I mean, like, it is something that went viral, them walking
Right.
out on the tab, so maybe people are, it probably attracted attention from.
Maybe Donnell Rollins.
I think
was
he
like,
probably already knew about Sloppy Chops. He looked like a guy who already knew about where Sloppy Chops was.
He looks like a patron of the Sloppy Chop.
Yeah, I think he likes to go into different cities and like actually
He tends
try
to get
neighborhood
into.
stuff.
He tends to get. Do you think because he goes to those neighborhood places, that's why he gets in the fights all the time?
Absolutely, yeah. That's why
Because-
Cat Williams get into situations too.
Because he goes to those places like that, and they're kind of like, oh,
Well,
little tiny.
you're gonna be around people, and a lot of people are gonna be very happy to see you, and the fact that you are on TV and like you popped up. But then some people are gonna be like, "Fuck him!
Yeah,
Like, why is he coming around here? You
Yeah.
got more than us."
yeah. What are you doing here?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So, I think that some people think that they do that so they can be noticed, and
Yeah.
kind of get that little ego stroke.
yeah,
Um,
yep. Some people don't like that.
right.
You gotta get out. You gotta get out this town. That's it.
Uh-huh.
And it's just funny that we talked about that place, and then Donnell Rollins showed up. Like,
We talk about Donnell Rollins every other episode.
I know,
You know?
he's just pop, and that's because he keeps randomly popping up or doing shit. Like he's always going against Charlemagne, or like
Right.
those videos are funny.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely interesting. That's so funny. He was at Sloppy Chops.
Right.
So we watched some cool shows this week.
What did we watch?
We watched the Hype.
The Hype. It's a competition show, just like you like so much.
I do love the competition shows.
And this one is about street fashion.
Yeah,
These
they're street designers.
Street fashion designers, which they look to be people in their 20s, early 20s, I would say.
Yeah, the new up and coming era fashion.
Fashionistas.
Yeah,
And they make clothes that are like kind of distressed. Looks like I know one competition they had the upcycle something, which is taking something old and putting it into something new.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like with the street fashion, the clothes that they do, just because they're not like regular designers, that just kind of comes in the territory, that
Yeah.
you use materials that you have. It might be
right.
something that is used.
Yeah.
You go to Goodwill and you might see this fabric that you like, and you're like, I'm going to turn this into the lining of my jacket.
Yeah,
Right. But it's a pretty fun show. It's cool.
they're in this warehouse where they have literally every piece of fabric, every piece of equipment that they could ever dream about
Right.
using.
They've got an embroider machine.
Most
know?
of them don't even know how to use half the equipment because they haven't had access to it in their career, which
This-
is interesting.
This one guy, he wanted to use the screen printer, which it's not automatic. It's literally a screen. You cover up the
Yeah.
spots that you want, and then the screen's there, and then you put the ink on, and then you take your little guy and you go whoosh, whoosh, and all of this ink just bled through because he didn't do it quick enough. It's
He
just-
didn't know what he was doing.
right. But then the next one he did was perfect. So
Yeah, and then it's a guy on there who don't know how to sew at all. He
Yeah.
doesn't know how to make clothes. He just knows how to draw little Pac-Mans.
he makes these like octopi and little they look like the Pac-Man ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like, dude, what are you doing?
and he's drawing on everything, and then the people are like, okay, you don't have to draw on everything. It's funny because these people they're so young, and do you think that young people are particularly artistic, or do you think that comes with like an age thing? You know, like
I don't think the artistic style come from an age thing. I think that kids can learn faster than adults because they're not as stuck in certain habits. Because when I was in school, the people that I went to school with, these were naturally talented people, and they were young at the time, and they were just naturally. And it was like, if we are 14, and you can like draw your face identical without looking at it at 14, or you can like paint like this great landscape at 14. When did you learn that exactly?
Yeah. But at the same time, like, you watch this show with these people and they have the one thing that they're good at, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and they're good at what they do. That guy, he's good at drawing things on clothes, you know?
Yeah, that's half the country.
You know, that one girl, she could put bandanas together. You know, all of her clothes were bandana themed.
Yeah, she is problematic.
Yeah, because they're doing the show in Los Angeles, and she made a jacket out of red bandanas.
Right.
And they're like, oh, everybody told me, no, don't do that.
Like, it's a blood and Crip situation here, and you're doing streetwear.
She's doing streetwear, and she was from Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh my God, them people from Kentucky, Kirk.
Yeah, so she got kicked off that week, but
they kept telling
No
her
spoilers.
too. They're like, "Hey, you
might not want to.
You might not want to do that." And she was like, "I'm gonna research the history of red bandanas."
And then she's like,
and then she started talking about Turkey.
It would actually
They're like, "Well, what
originated
does
in
that have to
Turkey."
do with LA fashion right now?"
All right. Well, it was actually supposed to be something from her life. She's like, that was like the thing. It's supposed to be a jacket that represents your community.
Right.
Which she said, you know, I grew up in a farm in Kentucky, which would be fine. But then she started to go into
because she was trying too hard to stick to that point.
Right.
People are telling you in LA, don't make red flag stuff because that is, people get killed over that here, and it's a sensitive topic here. So probably try to stay away from that.
Right.
And she was just like, I'm going to, like, she doubled down.
This is what I want to do.
She stuck to it. Then it's like, it's hard to watch people like that. You're so smart, you dumb.
Right.
You're so stuck in your own way that you're hurting yourself and everyone. You got a million people around you saying, "Why would you do that? That's stupid." And you're just like, "I'm doing it.
This is what I'm doing."
Like, and then the consequence, people are like, "Told you, dummy." Like, you deserve that. And she was so sure though.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna make this red.
So yeah, you've got the girl doing the bandanas, and then this one guy, he's got this logo, and he puts this logo on everything. You know, all of these people, they're young, but they've got their one thing that they do. We watched all those Ink Masters.
Yeah.
Typically, the people that were, you know, at the end of the show,
right,
were older people.
Right.
Because they've got more technique, you know, their
Yeah.
artistry is better.
It depends
I think it
on
just takes time.
it depends on the profession as well, though.
Sure. But I'm just talking in like an art sense.
In the
You
art
know?
sense, it still depends on the profession because cooking is art. A young cook gets no respect.
Sure. But there's also so much that they don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
And you need to be older for that.
That's what I mean.
But when it comes to like art and design, like think about the kids that's like doing all this graphic design and stuff through computers. That older people don't even know how to work half this new stuff, new technology. They have an advantage when it comes to computers and designs and
I don't know. I feel like that time's kind of gone away, you know? Like, I think that because I feel like that would be true in the 90s, but, you know, today, the people that don't know how to do that stuff, and if they're in, like, graphic design, they're kind of out of it now,
yeah.
you know?
I don't know. I feel like it's a young person's game right now. Like when that aspect of art is.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's interesting, but I think it's really cool, the designs and things that they do, except for that girl with the bandana flags. And then she painted the inside of the bandana light blue. Girl, just go home.
In the Paisleys, she decided to
paint them light blue.
paint them light blue.
And she's like, I even did painting on this one.
And then
It's like, oh my God.
she had these pants on that were supposed to be, the companion piece to this jacket, and it had like red teardrops in it. Like,
girl, you gotta go
going
home.
down the leg. Like,
You just don't. You just on top of doubling down, you're just gonna shove it in their face
Yeah.
and make them
It was
say
ridiculous.
you're right, and it didn't work out for her.
didn't work out.
That's really funny though. And then we saw the new Saw movie.
The new Saw, Spiral, from the book of Saw. Did it say? What did you think about it? We watched it last night.
I think that it was short.
Well,
I think that it was only like 4 scenes of graphic stuff, where normally the other Saw was
there weren't a lot of.
full, it wasn't a body of work. It didn't seem like a full body piece.
There wasn't a lot of the thing about the Saw movies, right? So when the first one came out, what year is that? Maybe 2005, Halloween 2005.
So yeah, it was a while ago.
Because I know the second one came out my senior year, so that would be 2006. When they made the first Saw movie, James Wan, he was the director of it, and he's gone on. He made like Aquaman. He did one of the Fast and Furious movies, Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon, Insidious, the first 2 Conjuring movies, and he made when he made the first Saw. It wasn't very violent. It was there was no blood or anything when they first made it, and then it was going to be PG-13, and they're like, we can't make a PG-13 movie. So then they made a bunch of insert shots that made it a little more graphic.
Right.
And then the second one came out, and that's the one whenever they were in the house. There's a bunch of people in the house, and there was like booby traps in the house. You remember that? And that one wasn't even that graphic. But then the third one kind of was gross. They like go into like the Jigsaw's head and stuff, and like, and that's whenever it got gross. And I think that was the last one that I saw in the series. I kind of quit after that, and then they were coming out with one every Halloween until like the 6th one, and then they took a couple years off, and then this one came out, and it was Chris Rock's idea. He was like, I got this idea to rejuvenate the Saw franchise, right?
It's like, no, dude, just leave it alone. Leave well enough alone. Shit.
It's funny because we were about to eat dinner, and you're like, let's watch this new Saw movie, and I was like, okay, but it's gonna be kind of gory. I don't know if we should eat. Wow, maybe we should eat after. And you're like, nah, it'll be fine. The first one, I don't want to tell what it is. I don't want to give anything away, but the first one, after it was all done, we look at each other and we're like, ugh. I don't know. Maybe we should have waited afterward, because
But we were already in it. It was a good movie. It was just didn't feel.
It didn't feel like a Saw movie.
No, it didn't.
It felt like a different movie with people in traps.
Right.
Yeah.
It felt like they were trying to do the whole Saw thing, but they kind of missed the mark. Chris Rock is not very good at acting in movies like that. Keep him in comedies. Let him play Pookie from what is it, New Jack City?
New Jack City. Yeah.
Let him play Pookie. Let him play the funny crackhead from New Jack City. Keep him in those funny roles. But like him playing serious roles,
Right.
he don't have it. He just don't have it. Like he needs more practice, and he just haven't been doing this enough to be that good. Like
Yeah. So he was in
you and Denzel Washington's son.
John David. We also watched a movie with him, Beckett, on Netflix. But Chris Rock, he was on the new season of Fargo. Fargo's a show that I like. There's the movie Fargo, and then there's been like 4 seasons of a TV show, and they all kind of like connect. They're all in the same universe. And
I thought he was okay on Fargo.
Yeah, but there is a part. It was the last episode, and it was the last scene that he was in, and it was just, you're like, ugh. It's such a letdown of the series, and that's the last way you're gonna see him. And the face that he's making, like the face that he's making at the end of that scene, you're like, that's his sign off for the show. It was ridiculous. It totally ruined the whole experience for me.
Man,
I thought this last season of Fargo was atrocious.
Because they're using his likeness to get to do whatever with, and it's like, leave him alone. Let his ass just sit there and not just leave him alone.
Get out of here, Chris Rock. So Spiral, phones up. Phones up. I'd say phones up.
Phones up, definitely.
Phones up.
Yeah, I
Get
fell
to
asleep.
scrolling. Yeah.
I try not to fall asleep.
Watch the reviews for the other Saw movies while you watch Spiral, huh?
Yeah, definitely. So we decided, and I know we got to get out of here soon, but I wanted to definitely talk about this story. We decided to go to our favorite place, our favorite local watering hole,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what's going on, Kirk, but like our experience with bartenders are just not good right now.
Mm-hmm.
We I won't say this person's name, but we are experiencing a situation where we have this bartender. He needs to be put to sleep. I feel bad for him. Like, I feel like just walking, I don't think he can sit down on a toilet seat and get back up.
He's yeah.
Very slow.
Mm-hmm.
Very very. He moved like a sloth. If anybody knows how a sloth
It's funny
moves.
because when we were there, you were actually watching a video of a sloth, which
Right.
is strange, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, why are sloths' claws so big? Sloths do have big claws, and do they only have 4 fingers?
I think they only got 3.
They only have that's. Do they have a thumb?
I don't think so.
They just got these guys, just 3 of them. I don't know.
I could be wrong, but I think so.
Did you ever watch Zootopia?
No.
Oh man, whenever they're at the DMV and the sloth is working there, he's like,
Do you think that guy, when I was talking about a sloth, he heard me and was like, people call me that?
I don't think he cares. I think he's off in his own world.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares about anything but just, getting to the end of his shift.
Yeah, I know. It just sucks because it makes the experience so dragged out and so miserable. And it's like, you can't make money this way. Messing up the money.
Right.
Like, man, if I was bartending, I'd be like on it. Like I'm looking like, what? You look like you want another drink. I don't even care if you drunk. I'm giving you extra drinks. Just,
Yeah.
Are you driving? Like, I'd be making so much money.
Yeah. I thought it was time for we had enough, and we're like, okay, it's time to go. At the last round, we were like, can we get the check? And I'd say, oh, we'll get one more round, and then we'll grab the check. But then he didn't give us the check.
Well, and what the part about that Kirk don't realize is when he went to the bathroom before we had finished our drinks, before we had checked out, I said, hey, when you get a second, can we get that check? Because I knew when you said it that he either didn't hear you or he was off in his own world. And like, it takes so long for him to pour a beer that by the time he pours that beer, he's going to forget you wanted to check. By the time he poured your beer, he forgot about your check. So I made sure I tell him again.
You told him again.
And then it still took him that long after again. And then he's like, oh, yeah. And then he looked at us and he's like, what else y'all want to do? Now, this is the second time we told you. So
yeah. We're leaving.
yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah,
time to
that's
go.
right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then he's standing there. He had no clue what we ordered.
he took a moment and he was like, okay, because you just had one drink. I had a couple, and
He had no clue who had what not. He don't like. That's the problem that he's having is that at the end of the tab, he's like, "What did you have?"
Right.
You better fucking write it down on the sheet so you remember what people had.
Yeah. I don't know.
I see people do that at bars. They have like sheets and
Yeah,
then they
little,
have like
ticket. Yeah.
they have sheets and then they have like every seat in the bar like a number, and so they know what number that seat got.
Right. I know some places they give you a little like shot glass in front of your seat, and they'll keep taking the receipt and putting a new one in there.
Oh, really?
Whenever you order something new, they'll take it out and put it on a new receipt.
That seems like
Yeah.
a lot.
It does, but it works.
Yeah.
Yep. Is that all? We still didn't get to getting stuck. I guess we'll have to wait for next time.
What?
Getting stuck in the mud.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
we talk about that?
I don't think so. We talked a little bit about the Captain Moats, but
Yeah.
we'll go over it next time.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Sweet Gravy. If you have any questions or suggestions, please go to sweetgravypod@gmail.com. You can also check out video on YouTube and check us out on every other streaming platform for podcasts.
Did you like this seat arrangement?
I did.
This is better for you?
A little bit, yeah.
Uh-huh.
We'll see how it looks visually.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.